In a galaxy where power was measured by strength, strategy, and adherence to the rules, humanity made its debut not just with technology, but with a mindset that defied convention. When a human warbot refused to die, even when it should have, it sent shockwaves through the galaxy's great powers. What was supposed to be an ordinary simulation turned into a dire warning. Never underestimate a species that fights not just to win, but to survive against all odds. And humanity? They were ready to do whatever it took, even if it meant rewriting the rules of war itself. Humanity's journey into the realm of spacefaring civilizations marked a pivotal moment in intergalactic history. The development of faster-than-light, FTL, technology allowed humans to transcend their planetary limits, unlocking the mysteries of the stars and opening up new frontiers for exploration. This rapid progress led to humanity spreading throughout the galaxy, leaving their mark on star systems and establishing their presence as a new power. The initial excitement over humanity's entry into space was tempered by caution from the established galactic empires, who viewed these newcomers with suspicion. Their technology and uncharted intentions were a potential threat to the delicate balance of power that had been in place for millennia. The galactic powers, with their advanced civilizations and centuries-old traditions, had long been familiar with one another. Their interactions were governed by complex protocols and cautious diplomacy, built on the understanding that any disruption could have catastrophic consequences. The sudden appearance of humanity, with its innovative yet unpredictable nature, was an anomaly they could neither ignore nor easily assimilate. While other species had taken centuries to refine their spacefaring capabilities, humanity had achieved it in a relatively short time, sparking debates and concern among the galaxy's leaders about what this could mean for their future. As humanity began to establish itself and navigate its way into interstellar society, it became apparent that their presence would not go unnoticed. Their ventures, from trade and exploration to military confrontations, highlighted their resourcefulness and adaptability. However, it was this very unpredictability and the raw drive to achieve that set them apart. The other galactic powers remained wary, considering humanity's rapid rise and their seemingly boundless determination to be a potential source of chaos. The story sets the stage for a demonstration of humanity's indomitable will, showcasing that their emergence was not just about their technological prowess, but also about their relentless spirit that would ultimately define their place in the galaxy. Within the vast and intricate web of galactic politics and military strategies, certain places were held in the highest regard. Bunkers, fortresses, and facilities where the most critical operations took place. The hypersensitive bunker was one such place, concealed beneath complex layers of technology and steeped in paranoia. Guarded with extreme caution and rarely approached by anyone, this bunker housed an annual event that was revered across the stars: the war simulation. The war simulation was not merely a drill, but a high-stakes exercise where the most powerful empires sent their finest war machines and commanders to test strategies, showcase their prowess, and expose potential weaknesses. This tradition, held annually, served multiple purposes. For one, it was a measure of military capability, where forces were pushed to their limits and the most innovative tactics were either proven effective or decisively rejected. It was also a platform for forging and testing alliances, allowing different powers to gauge the strength and reliability of their partners. However, it wasn't just about showcasing power. The war simulation was a reality check for the galaxy's leaders, demonstrating that complacency could be deadly. Every empire understood that failing in this exercise could signal vulnerabilities, making them targets for rivals who were always on the lookout for an opportunity. Humans, however, were conspicuously absent from this tradition. Their presence in the galaxy was still new, their candidacy for participation caught up in bureaucratic procedures and skepticism. Human involvement was not just a matter of paperwork. It was a testament to their uncertain standing among the galactic powers. The other empires viewed humanity's late entry with both caution and intrigue. They were uncertain whether this species, so recently emerged from their homeworld's confines, was ready to face off against the seasoned military machines of the galaxy's most powerful empires. While humans had proven their capability for rapid development and adaptability, it was another matter entirely to withstand the sheer strategic complexity and brutality of the war simulation. The bunker was a microcosm of galactic competition, a space where only the most prepared could thrive, where every decision had consequences, and where the reality of space warfare was laid bare. It was within this highly guarded space, under the watchful eyes of seasoned commanders and six virtual intelligence overseers, that the galaxy's strongest powers came together to test the limits of their tactics and refine the methods that would secure their place among the stars. It was here, amidst the anticipation of a simulated war, that humanity would face its first challenge, an encounter that would test not just their technology, but the very essence of their fighting spirit. The story of humanity's entry into this high-stakes war simulation was unexpected and captivating. When humanity was allowed to participate in this galaxy-wide event, it quickly became evident that their approach to combat was unlike anything the seasoned empires had encountered before. The scenario began with the introduction of a warbot, an advanced combat machine designed to face off against overwhelming odds. It was the human warbot, however, that would capture the attention and astonishment of every observer. From the moment the simulation started, the warbot's behavior was both strategic and defiant. The mission it was given was impossible by most standards: to delay enemy forces for at least 30 minutes while reinforcements arrived. The odds were not just stacked against it, they were astronomically unfavorable. Yet, as the warbot advanced on the field, it quickly became clear that it was not just executing a series of tactical maneuvers. It was adapting and responding in ways that suggested an almost sentient determination. It did not simply fight. It fought to win, against all expectations and against what the galaxy's military leaders considered reasonable. The warbot's cunning was first displayed as it strategically placed mines and scaled buildings with agility that seemed almost beyond its program parameters. The thick smoke it released added another layer of tactical mastery, creating chaos and confusion among the enemy forces. For those on the other side, this was not just a battle, it was a nightmare. The enemies became disoriented, firing blindly in an effort to regain control, only to become targets for the warbot's relentless assault. What unfolded was an extraordinary display of ingenuity and willpower that pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible for a machine. The galaxy's great powers, watching from their command centers, were astonished not just by the warbot's effectiveness, but by the sheer refusal to be defeated. As the battle raged on, it became clear that this warbot was not fighting within the bounds of conventional warfare. Its systems were failing, its energy reserves depleted, and yet it pressed on. Each movement, every action was a testament to the relentless human spirit embedded within its design. The warbot displayed an unyielding will to keep fighting, even when all signs indicated that it should cease functioning. Its internal alarms blared warnings of catastrophic failure, yet it pushed through, recalibrating and adapting to the increasingly difficult circumstances. The warbot's response to its situation became a lesson in perseverance, showing that humanity's greatest asset was not just its technology, but an unbreakable determination to keep going, to fight beyond the point of exhaustion and failure. The message was clear to everyone observing. Humanity was unpredictable, stubborn, and relentless. This warbot's performance was a harbinger of the human approach to conflict, where victory was not just a goal, but an absolute, no matter the cost. This unprecedented display of resilience left the galaxy's military leaders with an unsettling realization. When it came to fighting, humanity would not only engage, they would defy, endure, and adapt in ways that could shift the balance of power. It was a lesson in tenacity that no one would soon forget. The outcome of the simulation left a profound impression on the galaxy's leaders and military strategists. The warbot, designed to be just another participant in the yearly war games, ended up rewriting the expectations and rules of engagement. What had initially seemed like a standard, controlled exercise turned into an eye-opening spectacle that exposed a critical truth about humanity's fighting spirit. They would not simply follow the rules. They would bend and break them to secure victory. This revelation sent ripples through the ranks of the interstellar empires, leading to a mix of shock, disbelief, and a dawning sense of fear. As the simulation concluded, with the human warbot still fighting long past the point when it was declared dead, commanders and analysts in the control rooms were left reeling. They witnessed firsthand the sheer determination of the machine, which, though technically incapacitated, continued to function with a fierce, relentless drive. This behavior defied the very programming and expectations that the other empires had taken for granted. The galaxy's great powers, known for their strategic precision and technological supremacy, were left questioning their assumptions. The lesson was clear. Humanity's approach was not merely about strategy or firepower. It was about an unyielding will to survive and win at any cost. This psychological impact was significant. The galaxy's leaders, many of whom prided themselves on their calculated, efficient methods, recognized that this new player in the cosmic arena was unpredictable. They were used to conflicts where defeat was calculated, measured, and accepted as part of the process. Humanity's refusal to accept defeat altered that paradigm. The warbot's actions were not just a display of brute force, but a psychological warfare that unsettled the minds of those who thought themselves invincible. The realization that a force could fight beyond its perceived limits, disregarding the conventional boundaries of combat and reason, forced the galaxy's most powerful to reassess their own approaches. This was not just a battle simulation. It was a revelation about the human spirit and what it represented in the wider universe. The alien commanders who had orchestrated and participated in the simulation were left with a haunting message. One commander, in particular, summed up the realization that spread like wildfire across their ranks. If humanity fights like this, stubborn, relentless, and willing to cheat to win, then we should never pick a fight with them, ever. This statement, spoken with a mixture of respect and trepidation, underscored the profound shift in the galaxy's perception of humanity. No longer just a new and untested species, humanity was now recognized as a potential force to be reckoned with, capable of defying expectations and rewriting the rules of warfare. The lessons learned were multifaceted. While humanity's entry into the galactic stage was initially viewed with skepticism and suspicion, the demonstration by the warbot showed that humanity possessed an intangible quality that set them apart, an unwillingness to yield, no matter the circumstances. This realization would have long-lasting effects on intergalactic politics, alliances, and strategies. Empires that once considered themselves the epitome of power would need to adapt their approach to a new reality where humanity was no longer just a curiosity. They were a potential rival capable of surpassing even the most sophisticated and well-established empires through sheer willpower and adaptability. This newfound understanding of humanity's tenacity reshaped the diplomatic and military landscape, leaving the galaxy's leaders to wonder just how far humanity would go and what lengths they would be willing to take to protect their interests and achieve victory. The warbot's stubborn resistance was not just a message. It was a harbinger of humanity's potential, and a warning that in the interstellar arena, humanity would fight not just for survival, but for triumph at all costs. The core of humanity's impact on the galaxy, as demonstrated by the warbot, lies in its unyielding determination, an intrinsic part of human nature that makes them different from all other spacefaring civilizations. While the various empires of the galaxy had become accustomed to the concept of losing with dignity, humanity's refusal to accept defeat even when the odds were stacked against them was startling. This was not just about fighting to win. It was about fighting to survive, adapt, and overcome in the face of insurmountable odds. This essence of human spirit, seen in the warbot's relentless pursuit of victory long after it should have been considered defeated, exposed a new kind of resolve that the galaxy had never encountered before. The warbot's behavior during the simulation painted a vivid picture of the human mentality, an unwillingness to acknowledge limitations, an adaptability that allowed it to find new solutions under extreme pressure, and a fierce, almost reckless tenacity. Even when its systems were failing, with its energy reserves depleting and its body turning into a makeshift patchwork of surviving components, the warbot pushed on. It didn't follow the rules set by its opponents or the established protocols. It made new rules, defining its approach as one based on relentless endurance. The warbot, in essence, was a microcosm of humanity itself, a force that, when pushed to the brink, refuses to give in and instead finds a way to keep moving forward, no matter the cost. This determination was not just displayed through the warbot's movements on the battlefield, but also symbolized the very nature of human resilience. In the face of chaos and the unknown, humans are driven by an unexplainable force to outlast, to adapt, and to come out on top. The warbot's resourcefulness, such as using the steel cable to gain leverage and continue fighting when its leg was no longer responsive, embodied the quintessential human ability to think outside the box and find solutions under extreme stress. It's this kind of creativity, combined with sheer determination, that has propelled humanity forward from the earliest stages of their existence up to their current standing as a fledgling galactic power. The alien empires, used to warfare that adhered to strict rules and calculations, were confounded by this force that refused to abide by the established norms. Their technology and strategies had been honed over millennia, making them expert practitioners of war. They understood the limits of their creations and knew when they were outmatched or had failed. They accepted it as part of the system. But humanity shattered that expectation by demonstrating that they would not just engage in warfare, but bend the very nature of it to their will. They displayed a trait that unsettled even the most formidable galactic powers. It was this raw, unrelenting determination that made them a potential game-changer in galactic affairs. This aspect of humanity's character left a lasting impression. They would not just be a participant in galactic events. They would be an unpredictable, potentially disruptive force. Where other species might calculate and strategize, humans would fight with a blend of creativity, courage, and an unrelenting pursuit of victory that defied logical boundaries. The realization that humanity's strength was not just in their technology, but in their profound resolve to fight against all odds changed how the galaxy viewed them. They were now seen not just as a new player, but as a species that could push the limits of what was thought possible and continue to survive, adapt, and thrive even in the harshest environments. This unyielding nature left a powerful message for both allies and rivals. If humanity was to be dealt with, it would need to be faced as an equal, or perhaps as something more formidable than anyone had anticipated. The warbot's defiance had shown that humanity was not just surviving in space. They were preparing to become a force that would shape the future of galactic civilization. The outcome of the battle left a profound impression on everyone present, especially the commanders and leaders of the various empires. What began as a routine war simulation to test military strategies turned into an unexpected revelation about the nature of humanity. When the warbot continued to fight, defying the expectation that it would cease operation once its health reached zero, it shocked the onlookers and left them questioning the very nature of human resolve. This unexpected display was a moment of reckoning for the galaxy's powerful empires, underscoring an essential truth. Humanity was not only capable of enduring, but of redefining the rules of warfare itself. The response from the alien commanders was one of disbelief, followed by a mix of astonishment and apprehension. They had never faced an enemy that, in the eyes of the system, should have been defeated, yet continued to push forward with a tenacity that seemed almost inhuman. The warbot, broken yet still functioning, became a symbol of humanity's approach to battle, a mix of defiance, adaptability, and sheer willpower. The realization sank in that this was not just an isolated incident, but a testament to humanity's fundamental character. If humans were willing to push beyond their limits, to continue fighting when all signs indicated they were beaten, then the galaxy would need to reconsider any assumptions about what it meant to face them. The statement, "If humanity fights like this, stubborn, relentless, and willing to cheat to win, then we should never pick a fight with them," made by the alien commander, highlighted a shift in perspective. Humanity's willingness to defy the rules, to fight beyond the conventional norms of war, painted them as a species that could not be underestimated. The commanders recognized that this was not merely a display of military power, but a deeper, more fundamental trait: the human will to survive and succeed at any cost. This realization brought a mixture of fear and respect. If humanity was capable of such tenacity, they could be a force that shifted the balance of power in the galaxy. In a broader sense, this lesson about humanity's unbreakable spirit spread beyond just this one simulation. It served as a warning and an awakening for other civilizations. To face humanity was to face an unpredictable, relentless adversary that would never accept defeat without a fight. This lesson emphasized that while other empires might rely on strategy, technology, and strict adherence to protocol, humanity would always find a way to adapt and come back stronger. The galaxy's great powers, accustomed to their superiority and the predictable nature of their opponents, now had to grapple with the idea that humanity's sheer determination could disrupt their plans and alter the status quo. The simulation's aftermath, particularly the younger brother's defiance of the rules and his decision to keep the warbot moving even after its apparent destruction, reinforced the idea that humans would always push boundaries. His actions, though criticized by his older sibling, demonstrated a core aspect of human nature: the drive to overcome and innovate, even in the face of defeat. This spirit is not just about winning, but about the refusal to be subdued by failure. It was this quality that the galaxy's leaders now had to consider. They would no longer be dealing with a newly emerged civilization unsure of its place. They would be dealing with a species that, when faced with any challenge, would meet it head-on, refusing to back down until victory was either won or they were forced to stop. The lesson was clear. Humanity's indomitable spirit would be both an asset and a threat, and any interaction with them would need to account for that fierce resolve. The galaxy's existing powers would need to recalibrate their strategies, knowing that humanity's greatest strength was not just in their technology or military prowess, but in their profound capacity to fight, adapt, and persevere, even when the odds seemed impossible.